Greetings, Atlas Core community. My name is Abby Robinson. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at Atlas Core, and most important, a Class 2 alumna, one of the first fellows to serve in Bogota, Colombia. Today, we celebrate. We celebrate international engagement. We celebrate leadership development. We celebrate individuals who are making a positive difference in their communities. We celebrate you. In 2021, Atlas Core achieved 15 years of operations. It is an organizational milestone so significant that we made it a 12-month celebration. Over the course of this year, we have featured the 1,100 social change leaders from 110 countries and our 300 host organizations that make up the Atlas Core community. We have also highlighted our volunteers, donors, supporters, and followers. I encourage you to visit our blog to read more. Just go to blog.atlascore.org. Now, I invite you to join in our celebration. Whether you are watching on Facebook, YouTube, or another platform, chat in your name, where you are located, and how you know Atlas Core. We want to see those shout outs from around the world. And if you're a fellow, you're alumni, you're a scholar, maybe you're a volunteer, you're following us on social media, you're an applicant, you are part of the Atlas Core community. When I became a fellow in 2008, I experienced the true essence of community, of finding your tribe. These connections transcend physical location or proximity. Community is a connection to those who share common experiences or an idea or a vision. The Atlas Core global community shares a common vision that the most effective way to forward positive social impact is to train individuals and connect them to one another. Through Atlas Core, we are demonstrating the power of that connection and all that we have achieved together. Today, we will highlight some key members of our community, from our Atlas Core leaders to our CEO. And before that, I want to show our appreciation for some key members of our community. A big thank you to our board of directors and our host committee and our alumni, fellow, and scholar advisory committee, as well as our community champions. These individuals really led the coordination of our 15th anniversary celebration and really are at the heart of Atlas Core. And also a thank you to our sponsors who are investing in our organization and our Atlas Core leaders. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, let's get to our programming. We start today with special remarks from the United Nations Secretary General's Envoy on Youth.
Hello Atlas Core community, happy 15th anniversary. Congratulations on achieving this remarkable milestone. My name is Jayathma Wickramanayake and I am the United Nations Secretary General's Envoy on Youth. It is a pleasure to participate in today's important event and thank you for your invitation. In my role as the Envoy on Youth, I work to bring the United Nations and young people closer together, and I serve as a global advocate for the rights and needs of young people across the world in peace and security, sustainable development, human rights, and humanitarian action. The framework that guides my work is Youth 2030, the UN system-wide youth strategy envisioned as a tool for the UN and partners in scaling up work with and for young people. I invite everyone here today to use it to ensure a more equitable, just and sustainable development for all of us. With this objective, I engage with changemakers like yourselves from around the world every day. What is clear in my work is the importance of partnerships to advance these common goals and the pivotal role that supporting young leaders in building connections across borders plays in that endeavor. Facilitating global collaboration advances the positive transformational change we urgently need now more than ever and supports the achievement of the global goals outlined in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. One among many examples of my work in this area is shown through our flagship program, the Young Leaders for the Sustainable Development Goals. This program selects and supports 17 emerging leaders from around the world, from fashion to food to finance, to expand their project scope and increase their impact, as well as highlights the central role of young people as agents of change. To mark today's event, I want to stress the importance of putting diverse voices of young people around the table, leaving no one behind. It's the only way to ensure that we do not continue to perpetuate the mistakes of the past and to build forward better in a more inclusive manner. As the global leaders of today and tomorrow, you are all uniquely positioned to help make this happen. Through positive disruption, you can challenge the status quo and change the world. Thank you for including me in this celebration. I look forward to working hand in hand with all of you with and for young people.
Wow. Thank you so much. I love that about the Atlas Core community. Great connections. What an honor to have the United Nations join in our celebration. And what a great message. And yes, everyone that is listening today, global leaders of today and tomorrow. That is so key. And we are going to hear from some of those global leaders who are having an impact right now, Atlas Core leaders. Today, we have 3 unique perspectives to share that span the history of Atlas Core. We welcome 2020 Blended Fellow, who started her service virtually, Marta, who is from Poland and Lithuania and part of Class 41. We have one of our first scholars and 2021 Alumni Changemaker Honoree, and one of the first fellows I met when I became a Class 2 fellow, Gargi from India, and one of our first scholars, one of our most recent pioneers who joined the new leadership program, the Virtual Leadership Institute, Victor from Venezuela, part of Cohort 1. So please join me in welcoming Marta, Gargi, and Victor to our virtual stage.
Thank you so much, Abby, for a great introduction to our virtual event and introduction to each of us as emerging leaders and members of the Atlas Core community. My name is Marta. I come originally from Poland, and as Abby mentioned, I am Class 41 Blended Fellow. I currently serve as a training manager at Atlas Core. As part of our year-long 15th anniversary celebration, we want to highlight members of the Atlas Core community who are proudly representing what our organization is all about. That's why we have Gargi and Victor here with us. I am excited to welcome you both as 2 dynamic members of the Atlas Core community as we talk about the impact of Atlas Core on your life and the impact of you on our organization. I also encourage our Atlas Core leaders joining online to shout themselves out by adding comments on whichever virtual platform you're joining on. Please include your class or cohort if you have already participated in one of our programs. Today is a global celebration. So now officially, it is my pleasure to welcome Gargi Saha and Victor Rujano. Hello, guys. I already said it is an honor to have you here. I invite you to share a little introduction about yourself. Let's make it Atlas Core 3 facts. Your name, country, Atlas Core role, and your current position. Gargi, how about you go first?
Yes, thank you so much, Marta. It's such a pleasure to be here with all of you. As the Class 1 fellow, I feel extremely privileged. I feel I'm representing my entire Class 1 from 2007 and 8. So I am Gargi Saha, and I am currently based in India. I am working as a child protection officer for UNICEF Bihar office.
Welcome. And I just want to recognize that you're also the 2021 Atlas Core Alumni Changemaker Award recipient. And that is a very amazing thing that you can be truly proud of. You go ahead, Victor.
Thanks, Marta. It's an honor for me to be here with all of you today in this particular celebration. I have a confession to make. Right now, I'm dealing with COVID symptoms. I've been vaccinated, but still, the COVID is still happening, so we need to be very careful. We need to get vaccinated, and we need to take care of ourselves. So I have to say that first. Well, thank you. And about my 3 facts, well, I'm Victor Rujano. I am Atlas Course Scholar from Cohort 1 of the Virtual Leadership Institute from Venezuela. And I'm the current director of CIMAS, a nonprofit organization working towards the protection of the environmental rights and indigenous people's rights in my country. And it is such an honor for me to be with you. I could not miss this, even though I don't feel at my 100%, but still, this energy, I need this. So I'm very happy to be here with all of you.
Thank you so much, Victor, for joining us, especially knowing that you're not in the best shape right now, but I hope that this celebration, this energy will bring the positive boost that you might need at the moment. And let me just underline how much we appreciate having you in our community, also as a pioneer, somebody who joined Cohort 1 of the Virtual Leadership Institute that was launched in November 2020, 1 year ago last week. Today, we want to learn more about the impact of Atlas Core. So I want to ask you about either your US-based fellowship or your Virtual Leadership Institute participation and how it inspired who you are today. Gargi, you were a fellow in 2007. Tell us about what you learned from your fellowship and how are you applying it to your current role?
The Atlas Corps Fellowship helped me turn my dreams into a reality.
It seems that Gargi might be having a little bit of a connectivity issue, so let's wait for her to log back on. And let's hear from you, Victor. You joined the Virtual Leadership Institute and excelled as a scholar. How have you applied this leadership training to your local activities?
Well, first of all, I have to say that I applied in 2019 to the Atlas Core Fellowship, but as soon as the pandemic started, the possibilities to travel were obviously limited. And a few months later, I received an invitation of the Atlas Corps team to engage in the Virtual Leadership Institute. I was confined at home, as many of you were at that moment, and I saw that as an opportunity to connect with a global community and devote my time to further my skills and share some experiences with other like-minded leaders from all across the world, which is something amazing. So, of course, I said yes immediately. I didn't doubt it for a second. And as the director of my organization, I got the inspiration from my coaching group, all my other fellows from the cohort, for the first cohort of the Virtual Leadership Institute. And as a matter of fact, my leadership project was, I'm sorry. I work with my leadership project through a campaign to raise awareness about plastic pollution in my hometown, Maracaibo. And actually that gained media attention. We got recognition nationwide. And that was really surprising for me because I just hoped to have a local impact. So I actually, thanks to the leadership project that I applied within my community, I could get the idea of the project heard in a national platform. So I think it's something that I wanted to highlight.
That is incredible. Thank you so much for sharing this. Just hearing about how you were just hoping to have local impact, but receive this national recognition gave me chills. Personally, I totally get it. When I myself became a blended fellow, one of the reasons I wanted to do it was to join this international community of changemakers. And for any of you who might not be familiar with the term blended fellow, it means that I started my service abroad. And actually just this week, yesterday, I traveled to the United States for the in-person part of my fellowship. And already during my remote service, I got to meet so many passionate, dedicated people who really motivate me and who motivate others to do better. They demonstrate every day that whatever social area is close to their heart, whatever scale of impact is available to them at the given moment, they want to make a positive social change and build bridges between individuals and their cultures and show that anyone really can do that. I see that we have Gargi here with us. Can you hear us all right?
Yes, yes, I
Amazing.
can, Marta.
Perfect. So let's hear from you. Let's hear your Atlas Core impact story.
Yeah, so thank you so much. I think I have been extremely privileged to be among the first cohort, first batch of Atlas Corps. And I was, I mean, this was the first time that I left my ongoing job to join a fellowship abroad. And it gave me, it has been 10 plus years, but it has been an incredible leadership journey since then, because it gave me the confidence to become a young global leader. And also it shaped my persona. We were given a platform to interact with global leaders, and at that time we were just fellows from India and South America, and see now where how far we have come to more than 110 countries and more than 1100 fellows. It also gave me a lot of confidence, and though I loved the United States, but I did come back, because that was a very inspiring thing when I saw how the global leaders looked at us, including Atlas Corps, and how much prestige of the country we were carrying with us, that I wanted to come back and serve in my own country. So I took those lessons from Atlas Corps, from what we learned from the other global leaders from huge organizations including the UN there, and then come back and implement it in my own country. And I am very privileged to work for some of the most marginalized communities of children and women on deprivations that surround children and adolescents, like child trafficking, child marriage, child labor, children without parental care. And also I got an opportunity to serve in humanitarian conditions and left-wing extremism affected regions. So I really owe a lot to Atlas Corps. I really think that Atlas Corps platform gave us that confidence that yes, we can do it. And this whole thing of returning back to your country and serve to whichever is the most difficult populations. Yes, so that's it. Thanks.
Thank you so much for sharing this story, Gargi. This is truly inspiring, and I think also a very important part of the Atlas Core programs, that it's not only about your own professional development with it, which is very, very important, but it's also about taking what you have learned, your experience, your connections, networks, and applying those in your own communities that you know well, that you know how they work and what can be improved. Amazing. Now a question for both of you. If you were to give 3 pieces of advice for all rising global leaders watching us right now, what would they be? Victor.
Wow, that's a very difficult question, but I will try my best. I could say first that I think as leaders, we have to learn the importance of networking for success. There are so many leaders fighting similar situations that we are facing, and we can learn from each other and lean to each other to further our causes. For example, thanks to the success that my leadership project had, I was invited to partner with other 20 organizations in a national campaign to raise awareness about the importance of the right to a safe environment as a human right in my country, which has been an amazing thing, and I'm very happy for having achieved that. Second, I will say do not second guess our potential to be change makers. And I speak by personal experience. Sometimes we think that we won't be able to rise to the level of expectations that we pose to ourselves in our projects, in our work, etc. But we need to realize that we all have the power in us to change our realities for the better. Even small changes are important, and each action definitely counts. And last but not least, I will say that you should take advantage of all the opportunities available to us to learn and increase our potential as leaders. I have to say, for example, in the Atlas Corp social media and especially the Facebook group, that the Atlas Corp team always share valuable opportunities to develop our skills, which are available for all of us as alumni. And actually, a few months ago, I applied to the Ubuntu United Nations Leadership Program, thanks to one of those publications on the Atlas Corp Facebook group. And I was chosen as one of the 3 delegates from my country to participate, alongside more than 600 delegates from all over the world, from coming from all the countries that are members of the United Nations. And we have been honored to have seminars with heads of states, Nobel Peace Prize laureates, and even the former Secretary General of the United Nations, Ban Ki-moon. So those will be my piece of advice for the leaders that are hearing us today.
Amazing, wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that the benefits and the connections of belonging to the Atlas Core community continue even after you graduated from the program. Gargi, what about you? What 3 pieces of advice would you give to the leaders listening to us today?
Yeah. So the first piece is, to have a goal. Please set a, goal for yourself, and then keep working towards it. I really believe that, we may not be able to touch the sun, but we would surely be able to reach to the stars, if we aim for the sun. The second is, there will be, many barriers and storms, but then having belief in yourself and faith in, what you believe and what you do is extremely important. A lot of times, I also feel like giving up, but then those faces of children, women, and the deprived communities come, and that's my passion, that's my commitment, and that kind of is like a magnet, attracts me back. The third and the last, I would definitely like to say that a lot of young emerging leaders, global leaders are watching us. So, we have to really show the way. And that's very important, because we are carrying, you accept it or not, but we are carrying that, that burden, that. Those entire this thing that a lot of others around the globe would like to see. So we have to set certain standards and examples, yes, for everyone to follow. So over.
Thank you so much. And let me just mention that I think both of you are great examples that anyone watching us can follow. As our time draws to a close, today is about celebration. So I would like to ask you, what message of congratulations or perhaps appreciation would you like to send to Atlas Core? Gargi?
Yeah, I mean, I think, a huge congratulations to Atlas Corps. I think we have come a long way. And congratulations for keeping us all together, like a family. We all feel part of family. I still remember that I first joined, my first Facebook account was because of Atlas Corps. My first blog post was, on Atlas Corps. There are so many memories, and I feel so I really owe a lot to Atlas Corps, especially Scott. I think Scott really made it possible to happen, and to leaders like Abby and now Bidjan, and all of you. I think we are a fantastic community of global emerging young leaders, and we must carry it on like this. So a huge congratulations, and I also wish a very best, and with a hope that, in future we do meet physically, and get to know each other more. Yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much. What about you, Victor? Any message to Atlas Core?
Of course. Well, congratulations to the Atlas Corp community in this virtual celebration. I'm very happy, I'm proud, and grateful to be a part of this incredible family. And I hope that Atlas Corp continue doing amazing things for the leaders of tomorrow and the present, I know that all of the programs that Atlas Core offers are doing so many great things for leaders all across the globe. So I hope you continue doing that. I feel part of the family, so I hope that we can also meet in person in the future, hopefully. So I hope that I can celebrate in the next years with all of you in person. So.
Absolutely. I think we would all love an in-person global celebration. Sometimes, who knows, maybe 30th anniversary. Why not? And I want to congratulate all of my fellows who are currently serving remotely or in person and are doing incredible work at their host organizations, as well as the numerous scholars of the Virtual Leadership Institute who have proved to us how much extraordinary potential and talent is out there in the world and how virtual formats can help us bring those incredible individuals together. Thank you so much once again, Gargi and Victor, for being here with us today and sharing your inspiring stories. We cannot wait to hear from you about what comes next, and we are proud to be represented by such amazing talent, dedication, and leadership. To all of you watching, thank you for tuning in for this conversation. My name is Marta, and I am the Training Manager Fellow at Atlas Core. Back to you, Abby.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. I love this. We were saying I'm crying and I am. It's just like big virtual hugs. And I think we heard it here, like Atlas Core 20 years, Atlas Core 30, the big in-person bash in Washington, D.C. We're going to bring the world to Washington, D.C. That was amazing. And I want to shout out, just so our three leaders who were speaking and how they were backed up on social media. We had Mary Apollo from South Sudan. We have Haitham was joining, and we have Demola from Nigeria, and Edison from Albania, and Douglas from IFDC, one of our host organizations, and Carlos from Peru. I loved it, and these are just a few of the people tuning in. It is, thank you. Oh, I love this. I love technology. You can pop up and see these comments. It's amazing, and all these congrats notes. And I did another from Albania. Oh my gosh, I love it. And I think about how we shared these moments, Atlas Core orientations, Atlas Core events. And I also think about what's really key. And both Victor and Gargi touched on this, in that it's not all about the big achievements. And there are days, as Gargi mentioned, where you might not think you have the energy to continue what you're doing. And she finds that inspiration in looking at the faces of the women and children that she's helping. Or Victor, when he said, I applied to be a fellow, and then the world shut down, and then this opportunity came, and so he connected. And that is one thing I learned with Atlas Core. In those moments when you most just want to curl in and be to yourself, that's when you need to reach out. And knowing that this is what the Atlas community is here for, is that we are here to celebrate those achievements, such as we're doing today, and we're also here to celebrate those challenges. And over the course of this year, I think we've all experienced some of those personal downtimes, and we're still here as a community. So it's all about an evolution. I like to call it a leadership evolution, and how we change over time. And Atlas Core is just part of that. And even as an organization, Atlas Core is going through our own evolution. As many of you know, in February 2021, our founder, Scott Beal, transitioned to the U.S. Peace Corps, because that is what Atlas Core does. We develop talented leaders, and then we encourage them to go forth and multiply impact. And that is what Scott is doing to a key core inspiration to Atlas Core, like the Peace Corps inspired the Atlas Core model. And now we are joined by an individual who brings a strategic vision and a global perspective and motivation to take Atlas Core into the next phase of our organization. He is already engaged on an international listening tour throughout the Atlas Core community. So please join me in welcoming the Atlas Core CEO, Bijan Nishat. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Abby. Who needs to hear a speech by me? If you listen to these three leaders, absolutely amazing. And then a UN representative and yourself, Abby. This is wonderful. And there's something very special to have people from 3 continents on one screen, and scholars and fellows and alumni from more continents in the chat and watching, and even host organization, Douglas. Thank you for joining. And, you know, all of those speakers mentioning the word family and leadership and purpose and community is very special. And it describes what this community is about, Abby, as you mentioned as well. And I'm so impressed by you, Marta, and great to be able to welcome you in person yesterday. It makes such a huge difference. Gargi and Victor, and the work you are doing. And I heard both of you mentioning the word family and service. And I think that is very important. And all of you were nodding when you were saying those words. And Gargi, especially your case on working for children and family is very close to my heart, as by this time last year, I was still working for my old organization, Save the Children, and we were focusing on a lot of the same issues and the challenges that you are facing. And I really have an admiration for the work you are doing on the ground for children and families. And this 15th anniversary is a really good reminder for the reason we celebrate past achievements and what people and organizations have achieved, because they matter for the present and for the future. And I want to focus on 3 different things. The first one is people. So I'm 2 months into this new role, and I have to say, I am full of admiration for the work that Scott, as a founder, has done for this organization. Over 15 years, the community, the team, and the partners that exist, it's a privilege to getting to know him, to getting to know Atlas Corps, and to be asked to lead into the next period. And I also got to know Scott a little bit better this year. And one of the things that's absolutely clear to me is why he is into long distance running, because he really embodies the expression, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. If you look at what Atlas Corps has been through with this team, with this community, and how this team has overcome challenges, especially in the last 18 months, it's amazing what he and this community have built. And Abby, as someone who was acting CEO this year and who's taken this team through a pandemic year into a transition, I bow my hat to you and how strong this team is coming out of what we've been through together. Let me talk about a little bit how this pandemic is changing the way we look at the world. And for example, when Gargi, when you were saying how it feels sometimes when you are close to giving up, this is what leadership means. And this is what the people are who we bring into this community and who stay and become alumni. You are not giving up, right? Leadership happens when you are in a place, Victor, for example, not feeling well, and your loved ones not in a good place, but you still show up together with the community. That's what we're celebrating today, 15 years of building a community like this. And the second point is purpose. There is a culture of purpose and energy in this community, and changing your perspective, changing the world. That's what it embodies when I speak to people and when I hear the examples. There is someone who mentioned to me that the first time she met someone from Palestine, and she had grown up thinking that most of them are criminals or terrorists because of the biases in different communities. And now someone from Palestine turns out to be one of her best friends. So the world becomes smaller as part of this experience. And that also means that the purpose we have as a community extends to when things are not going well, to our friends in Ethiopia, in Afghanistan, and this week in Uganda with terror attacks happening a few days ago. So to me, it embodies what the philosopher, one of my favorite philosophers, Martha Nussbaum, said when she mentioned how to imagine life from the point of view of someone unlike yourself. That's what I hear and feel getting to know this community. And that's something very special. And my last point, the third P, is about potential. When I look and experience Atlas Corps, the team, the community, its partners, I see potential. Both because of the talent I've met in the last 15 years working across the globe, but also when I meet the talent that we have in Atlas Corps and as part of this community. And I believe we are looking at the tip of an iceberg. and what is underneath, and you know that underneath the iceberg is most of what is not seen. That's what's out there as a resource, that talent globally to overcome challenges. And we have some very big challenges ahead of us and presently. So let me end by saying, if Scott didn't found Atlas Core 15 years ago, it would have to be founded today. Thank you very much for having me as part of this new journey, celebrating the achievements. I can't wait to celebrate in person on Saturday. And Abby, back over to you.
Wow. We are blessed with inspiring leadership throughout Atlas Core. Thank you, Bijan, for these motivating words and for the innovative energy you are already adding. So keep on listening, keep on doing. We are excited for the future, and we are glad you are at the helm. So welcome, welcome, and thank you so much. And as Bijan mentioned, we do have some upcoming events to celebrate the Atlas Core 15th anniversary. And as I said, this milestone is so huge that we didn't just celebrate once, we celebrated over the course of the entire year. And we actually have 4, I'd say, exciting events coming up. This one being the first. Saturday, we are going to have the Atlas Core 15-year Gala in Washington, D.C. Yes, we are having an in-person event. It will be live streamed, so you can tune in again on Facebook and YouTube. And you can learn more at 15.atlascore.org. Of course, we also have Giving Tuesday and our end-of-year campaign. Giving Tuesday happens on November 30th. You can get your donations matched. Donate.atlascore.org. You can support leaders like Marta, like Gargi, like Victor, like myself, and our future Atlas Core leaders. And then we have an additional fun event to celebrate as we get into the holiday season. We have a virtual wine tasting event on Thursday, December 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern. This is with our friends at Chuffley Imports. They do sustainable wine, so very aligned with our mission. They have been supporters of Atlas Core for a while, so you can enjoy great wine, learn about sustainable wine, and also engage with the Atlas Core community. So you can learn about that as well as donate.atlascore.org. And I just want to give you a little preview as we look toward our November 20th Gala. It is really going to be an exciting time to celebrate in person, and we're going to be recognizing some real inspirational change makers within our community. One, we will be highlighting and honoring our 2021 Global Changemaker Honoree, Nina Vaca, who is the chairman and CEO of Pinnacle Group and is just a dynamo. She is a leader in inspiring individuals, community engagement, and also committed to international exchange. And her own story was inspired by an international exchange experience and how that motivated her and led her to believe in this idea of investing in individuals, engaging in your community. And to give you a better sense, a little teaser of why you should tune in and hear her on Saturday night is we're going to show what's called the Crazy Good video. And I think it is crazy awesome. So enjoy this quick video.
20 years ago, I started my first company with a not so crazy idea that one person, one entrepreneur, could make a difference in the business world and in the community. And every day since then, I've been driven by one single idea: to be crazy good. Today, as we have grown Pinnacle to be one of the fastest growing companies in America, what is most satisfying is the difference that we're making in people's lives and how we can use that success now to inspire others to contribute to organizations and to use our leadership to actually make a difference, not just in our hometown, but across the world. we understand that when women succeed, America succeeds. The economic power that women have in this country is incredible. Entrepreneurship and hope are universal languages. They can go through challenges and obstacles, and they can inspire people to start businesses, to help in their communities, or to truly make a difference. What I am most passionate about is reminding people that they don't need permission to follow their dreams. And 20 years later, I've learned a lot of things. Surround yourself with people that truly want to see you succeed. And whatever you're doing in life, be crazy good at it. Be crazy good.
Crazy good indeed. I love that video, and I love how her story highlights the many ways you can inspire impact, from being a successful entrepreneur to mentoring others to engaging in your community. It is so aligned with the Atlas Core vision, and we are excited to hear from her and celebrate her on Saturday night. The crazy good idea also reminds me of a phrase I heard when I first joined Atlas Core. Atlas Core founder Scott Beal said to me, he said, when you're a social entrepreneur, you launch a new idea, people will say, crazy, 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 obvious. And that is where Atlas Core is at. Over these 15 years, people said, that idea is crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. Wait, that's crazy. And yeah, that's obvious. And as Bijan said, it is obvious that we need to connect talent across borders. We need to inspire individual leaders. And Atlas Core is an obvious idea that we're excited to celebrate and we're excited to see grow. And we're inspired that you are part of this community. So again, we remind you, tune in on Saturday night. Go to 15.atlascore.org and you can watch us on YouTube as well as Facebook. It'll start at about 7 p.m. Eastern time. You can also watch the video highlights if that gets a little late in your time zone. And keep inspiring. Keep on shining, and keep on impacting. On that note, we'll leave you with the Atlas Core Impact video that really shares the entire story of Atlas Core over these 15 years. And I love that it is also narrated by one of our own Atlas Core leaders, one of our fellows from Russia. So join us in the Atlas Core video, and thank you for joining us today.
In 2006, Atlas Core was founded to address critical social issues by developing leaders, strengthening organizations, and promoting innovations through an overseas fellowship and virtual learning programs of skilled professionals from around the world. Our community began with an inaugural class of 6 fellows who hailed from Colombia and India. In 15 years, Atlas Core has empowered 1,100 leaders from 110 countries, partnered with 400 host organizations, US embassies, and our network of supporters to multiply impact domestically and worldwide. Atlas Core leaders represent the richness of diversity, inclusion, and cultural awareness. Now, more than ever, we need to keep building bridges between social change leaders from around the world. During the fellowship, Medha was exposed to girl-centered programming at her host organization. She translated this approach in her country and founded visible impact on unleashing the social and economic leadership of girls, women, and youth. Last year, Atlas Core alum Nino and his organization El Space partnered with the Ministry of Health in Tunisia to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic. Nina gathered makers with 3D printers to provide needed face shields for Tunisian hospitals. After her fellowship, Patience designed the Cole Literary School Club, aimed at improving the literacy of children and youth in public schools in low-income communities of Middle Belt, Nigeria. During our 15th anniversary year, Atlas Core continues to engage social change leaders as fellows and virtual scholars. Our fellows serve in the United States and virtually from their home regions. Virtual scholars enhance their professional skills, build global networks, and prepare for leadership in home communities during our Virtual Leadership Institute, a new online leadership development program launched by Atlas Core in 2020. This year, we invite you to celebrate with us our 15th anniversary. Thank you for supporting our community of global changemakers. Thank you for supporting Atlas Core.